Hello everyone, it's Krista from Crochet and Positivity, and I am back with you again today to talk about the double crochet stitch. It's the third in line of the basic stitch tutorials that we're going to talk about, and I want to start by showing you these two pieces of crochet work. To the naked eye, they probably don't look much different, but to a crocheter, you're gonna see some differences, and I'm gonna explain those to you. Okay, this little swatch represents the way that the Craft Yarn Council tells us to do the double crochet stitch, and it's very nice. However, it's got some holes here, some gaps, and like I say, to the naked eye, you know what, a lot of people would not notice that. However, to some crocheters, it really bothers them. This piece does not have those gaps. I mean, there's little small gaps, but nothing like this. Okay, and I'm going to show you the difference. Honestly, to be quite honest, I use this way. When I write up a pattern, this is the way that I use. However, I would feel wrong not showing you the correct way, the accepted way used by the Yarn Council. So that's what I'm going to start with today. What I have is a size 5H, 5 or H size crochet hook, and just some number 4 weight yarn in light blue. Okay, and we're going to start with our slip knot. Just wrap it around, come behind, pull it through, and pull up a little loop there. And okay, we are going to start by chaining 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now this method, we're going to count our turning chain in our work as a crochet stitch. So what that means is we're going to count in 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to yarn over, insert the hook into that 4th chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops. Now we have 2 loops remaining on the hook. We're going to yarn over one more time and pull through the last 2. And that's our first double crochet. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook in the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through just 2 loops. Now we're down to 2 loops again on the hook. We're going to yarn over one more time and pull through the last 2 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook in the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. We've got 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Now we've got 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the last 2. Another double crochet stitch complete. So I am going to work the rest of this row. When I do these videos, I like to use 10. It's just, you know, an even number, just for practice purposes. Okay, and then I have one more stitch to work into. I'm going to do that. Okay, now this method requires us to chain 3. So we're going to chain 1, 2, and 3. We're going to turn our work. Now because we're counting this chain as our first stitch, we're not going to crochet in this very first stitch right here. We're going to kind of skip over that one, and this will be considered our first stitch with this method. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. We now have 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through 2. We now have 2 loops. Yarn over one more time and pull through the last 2. And I'm just going to work these last couple stitches. Now this is the way that I learned. When I was a beginner, this is the only way that I knew how to do a double crochet. Now, we've come to the end, and you can kind of see it's got this little like pooch. That's because there's one more stitch. Now if we count our stitches, you'll see. Remember, we're counting this chain as a stitch. So we're going to say 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and we're supposed to have 10. The 10th stitch is going to go at the top into the top of that chain 3. So we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into the top of that chain. Okay, just like I've shown you with each of these previous double crochet stitches. And there, now we have our 10. So now you have worked 2 rows using that chain 3 as a stitch. Okay, now if you are an absolute beginner and you already feel overwhelmed, maybe you just want to stop here, and that's absolutely fine. So we've done our double crochet stitches. However, now I'm going to show you the other way. And you don't have to do this way, okay? Only if you're feeling like you want to try something different. And honestly, when you go to work up a pattern, the designer usually puts in their instructions or notes exactly how they expect you to do the stitches, whether you're counting that turning chain as a stitch or not. So the second method, which was with the smaller holes, we're going to do the same thing and chain 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now with this method, we are not counting our turning chain as a stitch. So we're going to work into the 3rd chain from the hook. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3 and double crochet into that. Remember, we're yarning over, pulling up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through just 2 of them. Now we're left with 2. We're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2. And I'm going to continue working into each stitch just like we did the last time. And like I say, when you are working up a pattern, the designer will tell you. Like once they tell you how many to chain at the beginning, they will specify which chain from the hook you are working into. So you'll kind of get an idea of which way that designer is telling you to do it. So you won't be completely left in the dark and kind of guessing. Okay. So, you know me, I like to check 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 stitches, perfect. Now this second method, instead of chaining 3, we're going to chain 2 because this will not count as our first double crochet. So what that also means is, unlike the last time where we skipped this first stitch, we're going to work into it. We're just going to continue to work. And now this looks a little different, where before it was looking kind of weird. On this way we can kind of see a stitch there. Unlike the other one where we had to kind of find it, look for it. Okay, now I like to make sure 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And that's it. You would just do the same thing and keep going with it. Now, like I say, all this really does is eliminate that gap. When you use that chain 3 as a stitch and then you skip that first stitch, it kind of leaves a gap, you know. It just, and like I say, some people it does not bother. In fact, some pieces, depending on your piece, it's not even really noticeable. You're not going to notice it. But, you know, it's really up to you. Like I say, the way with the gaps is the Yarn Council recommended or accepted way. And there you have it. That is your double crochet. Happy crocheting and have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing day.